Hey guys, Kiz here. Today I am bringing you gameplay from Smite. Smite is a MoBA style game, just like League of Legends, except it's a third person instead of an overview. What I mean by that is that the camera is always following your character, and moving your mouse controls the camera, and you move your character with WASD. So it's different from just point to click to move. The shop, as you can, this is an intro video, by the way. It's just to give you guys a glimpse of what Smite is, and see what you guys think. If you guys want more videos, I can do god guides. I can do just like, yeah, basically god guides or just normal games. Gods are the champions of this game, so I'm just gonna start with one of the starter items: Death's Toll, Vampiric Shroud, and Mark of the Vanguard are the starting items, like the Doran items, they're the basics. Because I am a mage, I'm going to start Vampiric Shroud, and I'm going to get my boots for my class. So you have support boots, mage boots, tank boots, and attack damage boots. So, just like in League, Smite, your character has 4 abilities, but they are set as default to 1, 2, 3, 4 instead of QWER. In this game mode you start at level 3. This is Joust. It's one of the many game modes in the game. One of the game modes is Conquest, which is basically Summoner's Rift. So it's a 5v5 map, 3 lanes, 2 sets of towers, 1 set of inhibs that are phoenixes in this game, and 1 Minotaur, which is the Nexus. You kill it, you win the game. So same principle, gain objectives, kill whoever gets in your way, if you are able to. Yeah. Smite is, like I said, a MoBA. Everything is mainly a skill shot. This is my 1, this is my 3, and my 2 is a self buff, so it's not a skill shot. Even auto attacks are skill shots, so they're not really auto attacks, they're basic attacks, because you have to aim them. When you're ranged and when you're melee, you have to make sure that you're close enough. Your character won't attack automatically because you're next to them if he's melee. It's not how this game works. You can't just right click and follow someone and win the game because you're an AD character. Yeah, that's the tower. Same way as League of Legends. If you were the first one to enter the circle, towers in this game have their range indicators by default. So if you're the first one to enter this, you're going to gain aggro from the tower if it's not your tower. If you don't have minions to tank it, you're going to get a lot of damage. In this game, I recommend, even more than in League of Legends, do not tank the minions. The minions in this game will destroy you. They will. They hurt a lot more than what people expect them to. Just like in League, you have different types of minions. You have the siege minions, which are just the bulky ones, which is that knight. You have the Roman melees, and you have the Roman rangers, which are the caster minions and the melee minions. Okay, I'm just gonna push this. In this game, as you notice, I don't have to have the last hit to gain money from it. So, yes, it's easier to make money in this game than in League of Legends, but if you do get the last hits, some items require you to get the last hits. If you get the last hits, you get more money than if you would just be next to them. So it makes it that the supports can still make money without having to just like get a CS here and there, or have to be reliant on your E carry doing good enough that you get assists. Like I said, the camera is bound to you, so don't be afraid to use it. Some god abilities send them in the air, So if like you're just looking and you're tunnel visioning and you're just like, I want this person dead, and then you just look at them, somebody could very well use one of those abilities and dunk you, and then you die. Because, for example, Thor's ultimate is he jumps in the air, then he stays there until you reactivate the ability or for a short amount of time. Like, look at Raw, he's taking a lot of damage from the minions. Where was I? Oh yeah, Thor. His ultimate makes him jump in the air, and then he can land where he wishes within the radius of his ultimate. And where he lands, it does AoE damage, and it stuns. So if you're like tunnel visioning or just not paying attention, he could use his ult and land on you, and then you're stunned and you're vulnerable because it becomes a 2v1 if you didn't get the kill before he lands on you. This game also uses Fog of War, as you can see on the map, and here's my cursor. The cursor is hidden unless you hold the spacebar, by the way. It just follows your character, but if you press spacebar, the camera stops moving and you can move the cursor. So you can see like where I have Fog of War, where I have Vision. Even if Raw was like right there getting that buff, and he was using abilities, I could see that laser coming down. Or I could hear him, if I'm like there, I could hear him use his ultimate. So you have to pay attention. It's not just about what vision you have, because even if you don't see a champion, or a god in this case, you can still hear them. So once you get used to using hearing to your advantage, you can prevent ganks, because some abilities like Loki, when he's stealth, it makes a sound. So if you start noticing it, and you know when you need to back off, because you know Loki's there, or you know Loki's about to gank even if you didn't notice the MIA. Some tips is, yeah, using your ears, listen, make sure that you pay attention. In this game, you can ping by holding down the spacebar. You can do normal pings, and you can do danger pings, but in this game there are also voice commands that you should probably learn at least the basics. Voice commands are just in-game chat functions that are there just to make it quicker so you don't have to type. So VF1, for example, is enemies missing. VFF is just missing. VF2 is missing middle. VF3 is missing right. VF3 is missing right. Which are one of the few you really should be learning. VR1 is like retreat. If you know that the guy is going there to gank, instead of saying that you say that he's missing, and say that what lane you think he's going to retreat, because you saw him go, like, for example, on that side of the map or the other side. So learning voice commands is important. It's gonna help you a lot, and I recommend you use the voice command, let it sit for like a second or two, and then do that same voice command again, because some people will not be noticing or won't hear it. So you want to make sure that that they get to hear it, and if they don't and they get killed, well, if they tell you like, oh, you didn't call the MIA, well, you did, so they're in the wrong and you're fine, so they can't complain. The game is semi-smartcast. I don't remember having an option to change it. You can remove the range indicators, that much I know, and you can remove the arrow that's there. But I enjoy having it because it tells me what's my range. So it's a personal preference. That was my ultimate, by the way. So yeah, if you have a character that has a lot of movement, use it to your advantage. Kite people, literally. Like, you can block people. Minions can block people. You can get them stuck. So body blocking someone, like, even if you're out of all your abilities, if they're like hugging the corner to try and get away, well, if you can pass them, well, block them in the corner. Some characters have the ability to create walls, so place your walls accordingly. I don't know what else I can cover. A lot of abilities in this game affect vision. So, for example, this Raw, which is the character I'm facing against right now, his 3 makes an AoE that if you're looking at him, if you get a stack of it on you, it flashes your screen and it blinds you for 0.5 seconds. And literally all you can see is white. I mean, maybe I'll try to make him do it. Come on, Raw. Fine. Be that way. I get it. Be that way. I'm gonna wait for the minions. Let's try and make him do it. There it is. There you go. So, if I wasn't looking at him, this wouldn't affect me, so the vision of my character is important, because I have to dodge. What else can I cover? Oh yeah, the different game modes in this game. Like I said, Joust is like Conquest, which is like League, but instead it's one lane and you have jungle camps on the surrounding. In this game, killing somebody that has a jungle buff does not transfer the buffs. So if you're about to die and you know you can't run, but you're like getting a buff and you get jumped, try to get the buff if you know you're not getting out, because the buff will go to nothing instead of going to the enemy team. If you see another lane, like let's say I'm right lane and I see that middle lane is leaving, the enemy middle lane is leaving, and that the mid doesn't say anything, then call it. Let people know. Like, a lot of time, like, you can save a teammate easily by just calling the MIA. So if your teammate doesn't do it, make sure you do it. But yeah, those are all little things you pick up. So if we go over what we need, one of the important things is recognizing sounds. Look around. Don't just like put your camera in front of you and like try to sidestep. Like you'll do a lot more doing that than just trying to like dodge stuff on the corners when you can like swerve and turn. Don't underestimate the ability of moving when you're fighting, even if it's in tight corners. Like, you can juke people in this game. It's crazy how much you can juke them. Like, they're trying to kill you, and then you just like go around a corner and you just like zoom right past them and they can't do anything. And like you're past the corner again, so they can't hit you. There are abilities that allow you to go through walls. There are some abilities that go through walls. Since everything is a skill shot, if your skill shot makes it, if your spell goes across the wall, like my ultimate in this case, or a whirlpool, like if we make an example, like I can't cast it there because it's on a wall, but if I put it there, like it's across the wall, so even if I don't see it, I can still cast it. So if I'm like chasing someone and he cuts the corner, well, I can still catch him. Buffs in this game are just like in League. It's two small, well, that was like two small guys and one big. Oh yeah, there are different buffs. In this game there are more buffs. You have blue, which I just took, which gives you mana regeneration. White buff, which is right there. That gives you cooldown reduction. That's movement speed. You get attack speed and movement speed, and that's damage. For the sword right there. Yeah. So those are all buffs, and in Conquest you're gonna have them all. If we go for another game mode, another one is ARAM, which is just like in League. You get sent into a one-lane match, 2 lanes of tower, 2 rows of tower, and 1 Phoenix, 1 Minotaur, but you can only buy when you die, and you can't heal. There's no place you can go back to heal until you die, and you can't jump up that platform or anything. So you deal with it. Then you have Arena. Arena is you're put inside a Colosseum. You get put into a giant ass arena, a Colosseum. There we go. And there's minions. You prevent the enemy minions from entering your base, and you duke it out. There's no towers, there's no phoenixes for you to slay. It's the first one to get the enemy's points down to 0 from whatever it starts at. I think it's 500 or 600. Use line of sight at your advantage. Like if I'm being chased, cut the corner, put your slow field or whatever, and like keep going, and like you can just hide there. And if he doesn't look there because he thinks you went the other way, well, you just got out. If he doesn't hear you recalling. The other game mode and the other game type in this game is Domination, which is just like Dominion. You have altars, shrines, and you obtain the shrines, you defend them, your opponent loses points if you have the majority of the shrines, if you have more shrines than them, and the first one to make the opponent's team go to 0 wins. And that's basically all there is. You'll have ADs, range and melee, you have APs, range and melee, and some of those fall into bruiser category or assassin category, support category or tank category. So you just figure out who's what and what does what, and you play whatever you're more comfortable with. So that was my introduction to Smite. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I guess I can just finish this game. This is a bot, by the way, it's not a real player. I just went into a random joust so you guys could see what it was. Like if we look at his build, oh yeah, abilities. In this game there are no pre-game stats, like there are no mastery pages to make, there are no rule pages to make. It's all in-game. So there's no one that has an advantage on you just because they have more games and they got more points, more IP, which is favor in this game, and like they just destroy you because, well, they have the better set of those. In this game instead you have actives. So you have Smite, you have Ghost, you have that gives you mana, but at level 3 it gives you health as well. That's an AoE buff. You can a recall that can't be interrupted. Blink is flash, but outside of combat. Purification beads, you become CC immune. That's an AoE slow around you. That's an AoE speed buff around you, and that's Zhonya's Hourglass. You stasis yourself, you can't take damage, anything can be done to you. Nothing can be done to you, is what I meant, sorry. And you can dodge anything if you use it correctly. As you've noticed in the shop, it's like League. You have physical, magical, defense. It's the same thing. Consumables. You have the potions. You have the wards. You have the red pot and blue pot and whatever. But every item has 3 stages to it, even abilities, and they get stronger. So, other than for abilities, my personal preference is to always finish your items. Don't start like building. Don't get your boots level 1 and like let them sit for until you finish like your 4th item, or don't get an entire inventory. Like don't get a Vampiric Shroud, a Boots of the Magi, a Battleground's Talon, a Chronos Pennant, Gem of Isolation, and an Obsidian Shard, all level 1, and then start working on them individually. Get your item, and finish it, and then move on to another item. For AP carries, don't get, I didn't get it this game, but don't get a Rod of Tahuti, which is basically a Rabadon's F-Cap, until your 3rd or 4th item, unless you're doing extremely well, because it's a lot of money before you get the 3rd part, and the 3rd part is what you really want, because you get 25% bonus magical damage, 25% extra ability power, and Deathbringer, which is the AD equivalent, is Infinity Edge. You get a lot of crit chance. I think it's 30%, and your crits do double damage. But they're extremely expensive items. Like, I can sell that. There's a Ratatouille. Like, if you get that level 1, it's garbage for the price it is. Like, it's 25 AP, and it's 5 MP5. Then you see at level 2, it's already 75 instead of 25, and it's 10 MP5. And then you have 125 and 15, and you gain 25% magical power. So you don't want to just get a rod and leave it at level 1 and start working on something else, because it's a lot of money. In this game, you can't see your creeps. You can just see your overall gold. So as long as you're doing decent on the amount of gold you're doing, you're fine, basically. So make sure to land your auto attacks, like the AI still isn't that great. The game is still in beta, so there's still things to fix, and that's to be expected from a beta game. A lot more gods are expected to join the group that you can currently play. So personally, I enjoy it a lot. I think it's a nice change from League from time to time. Oh yeah, there, free tip of the day. You move faster by when moving forward than you do by moving backwards, and you go even slower when you attack. So don't, like, if you're getting chased, don't like go backwards and attack them. Just turn around and run, because you'll outrun them if they're trying to hit you and they keep missing. So strafe. You can look back and go back to moving forward. Like if you're going to the side, you're going just as slow as going backwards, but at least you can dodge and stuff like that. So it'll get used to it, and I think it's an interesting way of playing a MoBA. So if we go over what we saw today, multiple game types, depending on what you feel like playing, and there are first win of the day bonuses for every single one of those games that are different ones. So you can play different game modes and get first win of the day for more XP and more favor. 5 times a day, I think. I think there are 5 game modes. There's Joust, Arena, Conquest, ARAM, and Domination. So yeah, 5. And yeah, I can make game type explanation videos on every single one, because they don't get played the same way. So if you guys want that, I can do that. I know how to play a lot of the gods, not to a professional level or anything. I'm a pretty casual player when it comes to Smite, but I know a decent amount, so I can play a majority of them, especially the damage ones. So I can do guides, I can just do random games, tell me which god you want to see, and I can do that. So yeah, that was an in-head. That was Raw's ultimate. It's like Lux laser. What else can we talk about to finish this? That's the Minotaur. It's a Nexus. It can move to certain boundaries. It's immune to CC, and if you put a wall in its way to try and prevent him from moving, he will insta-destroy it. People were having fun making wall teams and just preventing the Minotaur from moving, just destroying him from across walls. Killing Phoenixes gives you super minions, just like in League. What else can we talk about? I have no clue. Aethrox was released today. There you go, he got me. And I got him. I could have queued there and dodged the ultimate, but I didn't think that he would get to shoot it before I killed him. Let's finish our meditation. Why not? So yeah. Use your camera. Pay attention to the sounds. Don't... try to go with a team comp that's like one range, melee, and AP. One melee bruiser kind of guy that's either jungling or just being bruiser. A support slash initiator. And... okay, well, the minions killed him. It's basically a team comp for this one. It's 2 on the left, 2 on the right, and 1 in the middle. And you make it work the way you can. So use your vision. Don't buy only stage 1s, except for abilities. Those can wait for a while. Don't get Deathbringer or Ratatouille unless you're doing extremely well. And this was Kiz. I hope you guys enjoyed, and leave a comment in the section below, letting me know what you think, and everyone have a nice day. Peace.